Sheryl Swoopes, this is kind of what you get for kind of not jumping on the tide, jumping on the boat. You were supposed to go and elevate with this whole situation. Your broadcasting career, everything, Sheryl. Your podcasting, whatever you do, you're supposed to be elevating. But instead, you decided to show hate, very clear hate towards Caitlin Clark. Very clear hate. Right? And now this is kind of like what you...
This situation goes far beyond a single controversial comment or one unfortunate mistake. According to the narrative, it was the result of a long-running pattern involving criticism of one of the WNBA's biggest rising stars, and eventually the league reached its breaking point. In this video...
But it looked like you got fired, bro. It looked like she got fired. I just gotta keep it real. It looked like she got fired.
We'll examine what allegedly happened behind the scenes, the fallout that followed, the response from Sheryl Swoopes, and the reasons many believe her broadcasting role came to an end. What makes this story even more controversial is the claim that Sheryl Swoopes has faced professional setbacks before. Although her Hall of Fame playing career earned her recognition as one of the foundational stars of the WNBA, critics point to events after her playing days as evidence of recurring professional controversies and conflicts. Questions about Swoopes' leadership style first gained major attention during her time at Loyola University Chicago.
I won't be missing you broadcasting the games, because when you broadcasted the games, it was so hard for you to mention Caitlin Clark. How are you up there talking about, you kept mentioning, oh, the Indiana Fever are doing this. Oh, Kelsey Mitchell and the Indiana Fever. Oh, Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell and those girls are doing. Oh, you had such the hardest time mentioning Caitlin Clark's name. Why? I don't get it. I really don't know.
In 2016, she was dismissed as head coach following a significant player exodus that raised concerns throughout the program. Losing the majority of a returning roster in a single season was viewed by many observers as a major warning sign rather than ordinary roster turnover. Former Loyola player Kate Sohn openly criticized Swoopes' coaching approach, arguing that elite playing ability does not automatically translate into effective leadership.
Loyola University basketball coach Sheryl Swoopes, she's under investigation, accused of mistreating players. College coach is not only under fire, but under investigation after reports that the majority of her roster has decided to leave.
According to her assessment, controversy seemed to follow Swoopes wherever she went, creating a reputation that extended beyond the basketball court. Additional former players described an unstable environment that included emotional outbursts, scholarship-related pressure, and the sharing of personal matters that they felt crossed professional boundaries. Their accounts fueled criticism that outstanding athletic achievements do not always guarantee success as a mentor or coach.
She mistreated players.
It was the environment she created. I was belittled, humiliated, made to feel extremely small.
Head coach since 2013. Last year, 5 of her players reportedly transferred to different programs. And this year, a reported 10 of the team's 12 players aren't planning on coming.
One of the most frequently discussed allegations involved former player Lauren Hibbert, who claimed she was encouraged to sign a medical hardship form that effectively ended her playing career. According to her account, promises about remaining involved with the team did not materialize, leading to disappointment and formal complaints that ultimately became part of the circumstances surrounding Swoopes' departure.
Loyola basketball player Kate Sohn says Swoopes caused the players to live in fear, that she routinely threatened that they would lose their scholarships or she would cut them from the team.
It made it hard to play. It wasn't about working hard and having fun anymore, it was about surviving.
Years later, critics argue that similar dismissive behavior resurfaced in discussions surrounding Caitlin Clark. During a widely discussed appearance on Gil's Arena, Swoopes drew criticism after making several statements about Caitlin Clark that opponents argued were factually incorrect. Questions about Clark's college career and statistical production quickly became talking points, with many viewers interpreting the inaccuracies as attempts to downplay her accomplishments. Critics were also frustrated by Swoopes' comments regarding Clark's record-breaking achievements and future professional success. Her remarks led many fans to believe she was minimizing Clark's accomplishments, creating the perception that her criticism went beyond basketball analysis and reflected a deeper skepticism toward the young star. Supporters of Clark viewed these incidents as part of a broader pattern rather than isolated moments. They argued that Swoopes often reacted negatively when confronted with challenges to her authority or when others received significant attention.
Caitlin Clark right now probably takes about 40 shots a game.
Here we go.
I know you like that.
Hell yeah.
I said that because when she comes to the league, regardless of what team she goes to that has vets on that team, she probably ain't gonna get 40 shots.
According to that perspective, the same issues that generated controversy earlier in her career eventually resurfaced during her broadcasting work, contributing to growing criticism and professional consequences. The Dallas Wings controversy eventually became about more than Caitlin Clark alone. It evolved into a larger discussion about relationships within the basketball community, especially after prominent voices began publicly questioning Swoopes' comments and conduct. Stephen A. Smith emerged as one of the most vocal critics, using his national platform to challenge Swoopes' handling of Clark's success.
Let's bring back Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
Okay.
Right? So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year, and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broken record?
And how someone with such extensive basketball knowledge could repeatedly overlook Clark's impact, suggesting that the omissions appeared intentional rather than accidental and intensifying the public debate surrounding her commentary. However, criticism from Stephen A. Smith was only part of the story. Former colleague and longtime acquaintance Nancy Lieberman reportedly confronted Swoopes directly about several disputed remarks regarding Clark. Reports suggest the conversation damaged their relationship and marked another turning point in the controversy. The aftermath proved especially embarrassing for Swoopes supporters because Lieberman eventually became part of the Dallas Wings broadcast team. To many observers, the change symbolized a shift in credibility and influence, highlighting how dramatically Swoopes' professional standing had changed. These public disputes affected more than fan perception.
So you guys remember last year when Dallas had to pretty much say, hey, you can't broadcast an Indiana Fever game after the little comments and things you had the game before, or something like that. Yeah, I believe it was that. And Nancy Lieberman was the one who pretty much confronted Sheryl Swoopes about the whole situation and let her know, like, hey, we got to keep it this, we got to keep it that, keep it about basketball.
Reportedly created growing concerns within basketball circles and among broadcasting partners. As criticism intensified, organizations may have begun viewing Swoopes as a source of controversy rather than a reliable broadcasting asset. For many observers, the most surprising development was not her removal from games involving Indiana, but her absence from the Dallas Wings' entire broadcast lineup. When the organization announced its 2025 broadcasting team, Swoopes' name was notably missing.
Basketball. You know basketball better than me. You know basketball than any of the pundits. You know basketball better than most of the men that play basketball. There is no way in hell you just accidentally left Caitlin Clark's name out of that soliloquy that you dropped about the Indiana Fever. Stop it. You know that. Stop.
According to critics, the decision reflected concerns extending beyond a single player feud. They argue that repeated factual disputes and ongoing controversy had become increasingly difficult to ignore as women's basketball continued experiencing unprecedented growth. The story took another unexpected turn when Swoopes later appeared publicly praising Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever after months of criticism. Many fans reacted skeptically to the sudden change in tone. Social media quickly filled with comments questioning whether Swoopes genuinely reconsidered her position or was simply responding to growing public pressure and professional fallout. Some reactions were even harsher, with critics portraying the praise as an admission that earlier criticism had failed. Those comments.
I helped do her shoe deal with Nike in 1993, took her to her first SBs. I've known Sheryl, I've coached her, have a lot of respect for her. I called her when Caitlin was still playing at Iowa and she had just broken Maravich's record. And it was all over the place, as you and I have discussed, that, there was this quote by Sheryl that said, Caitlin was, 25 years old. She was, 24 years old. She was a fifth-year senior. Right. She was taking 40 shots a game. Her record.
Comments reflected how deeply divided public opinion had become regarding Swoopes and her remarks about Clark. Even Stephen A. Smith weighed in on the shift, suggesting that Swoopes' previous reluctance to acknowledge Clark's achievements had appeared unusually personal and therefore attracted intense scrutiny from fans and media members alike. Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever continued their rise as one of the league's most talked about teams. What began as late-season momentum evolved into widespread expectations that the franchise could become a serious championship contender, with many analysts viewing Indiana as one of the WNBA's most attractive destinations. Indiana's front office received widespread praise for aggressively improving the roster. The additions of accomplished veterans such as Natasha Howard and DeWanna Bonner were viewed as moves capable of transforming the Fever from a playoff team into a legitimate title threat, while also providing valuable experience and leadership. The roster upgrades extended beyond just a few headline names.
What Nancy was all about. She was keeping it very, hey, let's bring this women's game let's bring it all together. Let's grow this thing together. And the question was talking about how older people or older players in the league pretty much should going about what's going on in the league. And Nancy knows Caitlin Clark is the biggest. She's got the eyes. She's got the fans. Let's not try to sink it. Let's try to get on the boat with her. And let's grow together.
With experienced contributors joining a talented young core led by Clark, Boston, Hull, and Mitchell, Indiana appeared to achieve an ideal balance between veteran leadership and emerging talent, a formula often associated with championship-caliber teams. Looking ahead, many analysts believed Clark's second professional season could be even more impressive than her first.
They ain't got Sheryl no more. Sheryl's gone. Sheryl's gone. Nancy still got her job, though. Nancy still got her job. They got Sheryl built. They got Sheryl built. See? Sheryl was there last year.
Her strong finish to the previous year suggested she was becoming increasingly comfortable at the WNBA level, and a full offseason of development created expectations for another significant leap forward. When even a former critic begins praising a team's progress, it often signals that something noteworthy is happening behind the scenes and that expectations are rapidly changing.
It looks like the Dallas Wings have left off Mrs. Sheryl Swoopes on the broadcasting team for the 2025 season. If you guys remember, Sheryl Swoopes, she was on the broadcasting team last year.
The Fever's championship aspirations suddenly looked very real.
The team that I feel made the biggest moves, maybe even the best moves, that would be the Indiana Fever. I think the Indiana Fever went from just being in the playoffs last season to potentially winning a championship. How much stronger Caitlin got in the offseason. You know, she was in the gym working on her game. This Indiana Fever team, they have put the pieces together in this offseason, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do.
With established veterans joining an already talented core, the roster appeared capable of competing with any team in the league.
I kept on saying it. I said, Sheryl Swoopes, you are going to find yourself out of the media so fast by how you're, by how you're moving, how you're talking on other players, talking on other people's podcasts.
As debate continued around Swoopes and her broadcasting future, Indiana's focus remained on building a team that could potentially make franchise history. Supporters of the league view this controversy as part of a larger transition within the WNBA.
Indiana Fever are that golden destination, and I can't help but laugh to the fans and the people online and the media commentators, unfortunately, who said that nobody wanted to play in Indiana. That doesn't make any sense.
As the sport continues to grow, there is increasing emphasis on promoting accuracy, professionalism, and support for emerging stars.
Caitlin Clark is the GOAT!
She signed my jersey! I'm so happy, I'm crying, I'm so happy. This is the best day ever.
Caitlin Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
I love watching her score and just everything about her.
They went the extra mile just to watch her play here.
This is great news for women's basketball, period.
She just brings so much passion to the game, and look at all these people that just want to come and see her.
It is no secret that the Indiana Fever are the most popular team in the WNBA. It is good for the entire WNBA.
Whether one agrees or disagrees with the criticism directed at Swoopes, the broader discussion highlights how rapidly the league is evolving and how expectations for influential voices continue to change.
The OG DeWanna Bonner, who plays both ends of the floor, who's a competitor, Natasha Howard, who's another OG, who's going to bring the defensive presence. And then you're bringing back Aaliyah Boston, who continues to get better every single year. Can we talk about Kelsey Mitchell, who is just a walking bucket?
The locker room is in shambles. Players want to leave.
It's a toxic environment. Nobody wants to be there. The fans are terrible. To, I don't know, I wasn't even in the locker room. To the OGs that they brought in. The OGs that said, I want to come play